turnaround doesn't really tell the whole story, and some on Wall Street think the reversal is emblematic of confusion rather than conviction about where stocks are headed. In fact, 56% of the S&P 500 fell into correction territory. And as Dominic Chu tells us, there are other issues making investors nervous.
The stock market has been struggling to get back to its record highs, and there are a number of reasons why some investors are still proceeding with caution. China is one of the biggest concerns as traders grapple with the possible slowdown in the world's second biggest economy.
Well, China has emerged as one of the largest consumers of almost every product on Earth. And so that will, of course, have an impact globally for companies that sell things, which is all companies. And so it will have a significant impact. But I think that the headlines make it appear much worse than what the reality will ultimately be.
Another big worry for the market is tied to what's happening in the oil markets. A big question here is whether or not the drop in oil prices is due to a global economic slowdown. China plays into that story as well.
I think it's dependent on whether it's supply or demand driven. If it's demand driven, such as China slowing down, I think the world economy certainly could slow down. If it's supply driven, then I think that's okay, and there's too much oil coming onto the market, which is great for the consumer actually.
Then there's what's happening with earnings season. Oil plays into that story. Corporate earnings are expected to show very modest growth because energy-related companies are making less money given lower oil prices.
There's certainly quite a few headwinds as it relates to earnings. The biggest ones is the impact of a stronger dollar and energy prices that's really weighing down one particular sector, and that's energy. And energy sector is really contributing the vast majority of really the revenue declines as well as the earnings declines for earnings.
It's all very interconnected, but is it really affecting how the average investor is feeling?
Who wouldn't be worried when something like this happens?
I've invested because it's the American dream, the apple pie and all that, and it looks like it's going down the tubes. So what do I do as a retiree?
Stock markets go up and down. The question is how much time do you have, not what's the market doing. We haven't had a 10% correction in a long time. I plan to live forever.
It's safe to say that the jury's still out, but expect to see some more movement in the markets in the weeks ahead as much of America gets back from summer vacation. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Dominic Chu.